Welcome to Video 2, Stable Order Principle. The stable order principle is the rule that the counting words follow a specific sequence. This is usually the first rule of the counting procedure that children really engage with. They enjoy reciting the words in order, a skill which is also called rote counting, in part because of the delighted reactions of the adults around them. Whether they first learn this sequence in English or in another language, it is the beginning of their numerical journey. The top third of the developmental progression for meaningful counting is focused on how children develop stable order. Each band on the chart indicates a range of time when most children develop a particular skill. For example, most children develop the ability to recite the counting words in order up to 10 between the ages of 2 and 4, whereas being able to say the words in sequence up to 19 is usually achieved between 3 and 5 years. We'll look more carefully at the other two sections of the progression in the videos to come. It's important to note that counting word sequences are a good first step no matter which language they are spoken in. When children learn to count in a language other than English, they are doing the same kind of mental preparation they will need to transfer that skill to English later on. Often, as they are first learning, young children go through a phase when they say the number words as almost a single string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As they realize the relationship of this string of words to the individual number names, they sometimes begin to get them out of order. A previously correct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 may become 1, 2, 5, 4, 6. This mistake can actually be a sign of development in the children's thinking. Their understanding of the words has become more complicated, and as a result, keeping them in order becomes more difficult. The experiences they will have in your classroom during this module will help them recapture stable order with a bit of time. Children can also get the order confused when counting real objects. A child who you know can recite the numbers 1 to 10 in order might get 4 and 5 mixed up when they try to count something in real life. This too is a normal part of the child's learning. Coordinating the correct sequence of words with the other parts of the counting procedure takes more working memory than just saying the word sequence alone, and can even affect the things we think they have already learned. The teen number words in English pose a particular challenge to stable order. This is because the decade pattern we are so familiar with does not truly appear until we get to 20. That is, in two-digit numbers, the digit on the left signifies the number of tens, and the digit on the right signifies the number of ones. In the 20s and beyond, the number of tens or decade is named first, followed by the ones, as in 21, 22, or 34, 35. But the words we use to name the teen numbers are not so patterned. Think of 11. This is a very singular word with no familiar patterned relationship, helping us know by listening that this is one more than 10. 12 is similarly unpatterned, and while 13 at least has thir for 3 and teen for 10, it's still not the same pattern we use when we get to the 20s. In many other languages, the teen words do follow the same decade pattern as the 20s and beyond, as in 10-1, 10-2, 10-3. Research shows that children who grow up speaking those languages learn the teen numbers earlier than children whose home language is English. For that reason, it's important to allow a lot of time for learning the teen numbers and not to expect children to learn them without some initial confusion. As you can see from the developmental progression, some 3-year-olds can rote count up to 19, which means saying the numbers in order, but many 4- and 5-year-olds are still working on that skill. These natural confusions in memorizing a list of 20 number words are best addressed by a simple, adult-supported practice. When you recite the counting words in sequence with the children in your classroom, you provide a supportive environment for everyone to learn. Every child can participate at the same time, and the process scaffolds and helps to correct and stabilize children's memorization of the number word sequence. Choral counting can be an organizing experience that calms and unifies your classroom while providing practice in this foundational math skill. Although it's important not to rush it, near the older end of the 3 to 6-year-old range, children can benefit from some choral skip counting. This is the practice of skipping over a set amount of counting words for each count. That is, skip counting by 2 is 2, 4, 6, and so on. A powerful form of skip counting to use with children is skip counting by tens to expose them to the order of the decade words. Use the skip counting table to learn more about why different kinds of skip counting are useful and how to decide if your students are ready. You can find a copy of the skip counting table in the Optional Materials section of Module 2 in your Learning Journal. Another important part of the stable order principle is that the number words are not just said and used in a single order as they increase, but also as they decrease. Being able to count down from 10 is a vital skill that children will use for subtraction as well as other operations later on, and the beginning point for this is being able to move up and down the number word chain by ones. There are many songs, dances, and finger plays that help children develop this skill. The routine for this module, called Counting Rhymes, is one example. In fact, songs, dances, and finger plays build flexibility along the number path that helps children see how quantities are related to each other. They are a very supportive way for children to learn the count sequence, and they give you a natural and fun way to practice choral counting. Children enjoy simply counting out loud together, perhaps jumping or marching to mark each number name. When it's time to think about skip counting, children can jump, squat, to mark the odd and even numbers. The key is to take every opportunity, whether planned or not, to let children join in on saying the words aloud with you.